contact with tissue.
Mic check 1 2.
And
Mic.
state law
Mic.
doesn't really
Mic check 1 2.
state like. And how's our sound? Good. I have to be careful because I realize, I think, more succinctly in 2019 just how much like white male privilege like factors into all the stuff I'm about to say. So the other thing is, if you learn stuff with me that you don't like, just leave it behind. I don't expect to like draw all of you 100% into like exactly what I'm doing or wanting to do exactly what I'm doing. I very much design my curriculum so that if you decide to study with me and then go to a traditional Thai massage teacher, that you'll be able to do that. They'll talk massive shit about me, and that's fine. I totally accept that. I'm very much prepared for it. But there's a lot of weirdness that comes from what I chose to do. And many, many years ago, when I wrote this initial workbook, my teacher was a Westerner. She had studied with many teachers. My best guess is, based on conversations with her, that it was Chayut Prisayat, Pichet Bunthum, who's the reigning master in Thailand. Chayut is now deceased. And Arnaud Hermite of Osteo-Thai fame. He's a French osteopath who lives in Bali now, I think, in Ubud, who is blending French osteopathic techniques with Thai massage, right? Those, I think, were her primary three teachers. She blended that stuff as a Western body worker. She delivered it to me as Thai massage. Hurricane Katrina happened. Whew, she's gone. I was no longer at Baton Rouge. She was no longer in New Orleans. She moved away. I came to Austin, where I'm now with my wife. I've been here for 12 or so years after Katrina. And basically, I had to learn from my clients. And I was in a different cultural context that wasn't even Louisiana. Nobody was doing Thai massage in Austin. It was like a barren landscape. It was full of Swedish and deep tissue. I called my teacher and went, "Yo, teach. I want to teach." She was totally taken aback. I was not very confident when I worked with her initially. Because I was just learning, just like you know, maybe you just started today. Like, have you taken a Thai massage class before? So this is like your first exposure. I don't expect you to be like, you know, supremely confident just after this class. Like, it takes some time. You gotta work with it. You gotta practice, right? So she said, "Robert, listen, you're a yoga teacher." She said, "Robert, I can't even remember how many classes you assisted. You did a month-long intensive with me at the Esalen Institute. Like, Robert, you must have TA'd like 10 or more classes. In addition to doing the work, practicing the work, like receiving sessions from her, working on her, like on and on and on." She was like, "Go make your own workbook." And here was the problem. I made my workbook and I was painfully aware of what I did not know about traditional Thai theory. And I said, okay, just show them the Sip Sen, the 10 main sun lines, and then talk about anatomy. You'll figure it out later. Now, here was the debate. So I'm a white guy from South Louisiana who learned Thai massage from a white woman who was from the East Coast. I picked up the work. I could do the work. Even after I wrote that little 54-page intro Thai workbook, that class is 3 days, by the way. There's still another 650 pages. Yeah. Very broad, right? But I knew the physical application of the body work. I started teaching it, started sharing it, and just pushed it out as far and as wide as I could, while in the workbook saying, thank you to the Buddha. Thank you to the Father, Dr. Jivaka. Thank you for the people of Thailand, and my mission is to promote this work far and wide so that everyone knows it exists. The only way I can give honor to my teachers is to surpass them, and I will not stop. Nothing will stop me. What started to happen was, when I studied with my teacher, she was very light on theory. It was more application. My curriculum, I think, models some things that she sort of passed on to me without even thinking about it. Just like you learn stuff from your parents, not that they taught you, but just modeled behaviors. She was much more interested in helping you than worrying about whether it was traditional. Does that make sense? From that stance, I got into a situation where when it came to marketing, it didn't fit a Western marketplace. The way I sold Thai massage was by not calling it Thai. What's the problem from a marketing standpoint? We'll get to the culture. When you call it Thai massage, what do consumers think it is? Yeah. And there's a million like preconceived notions. And what I had to do was, okay, teach them what you know. Let them know that you have questions and you're still searching. And then try to, reasonably provide what you do know, leave open questions, and just document your learning process. My curriculum and the way I deliver the classes, even those are kind of set in stone, the workbooks, I kind of change the classes a little bit. I test things out to see what people pick up, what they like, what to make it better, to improve it. Even the notion of improving Thai massage is sacrilegious to some people. And the reason why is I think in all of the bodywork world, in all of myofascial release, trigger point, active isolated stretching, Thai massage is the most contentious and likely to break out into a war. And here's why. It's a debate about theory, it's a debate about science, it's a debate about culture, and it's a debate about religion. If we had a healing tradition that descended from Jesus, and a white guy came along and removed Jesus and started teaching the healing tradition, how did the Christians feel? That's what some people are frustrated about me for, is because I'm not worried about Vipassana meditation, we'll get there later. I'm not worried about the spiritual side, we'll get there later. Deeply spiritual, it's in my workbooks if you read them. I just don't interpret it the way I interpret it. I'm physical first. And teachers I encountered online, because my notoriety was growing, were basically like, no body work, Vipassana meditation. And I'm like, yo, bro, the good old boy just got off his tractor. He's in boots and jeans. His back hurts. And they're like, no, Vipassana meditation. And I'm like, let me do some body work on him. He doesn't have a cultural context for what meditation is. Like, relax, we're in Texas, right? Cultural context. When you look at Thai massage, Thailand, if you look on a map, is sort of situated between China and India. There are livid debates about where Thai theory comes from. And there are three main potentials here. One is from China and Chinese medicine. The other is from Ayurveda, which is a subset of within yoga, and Ayurvedic theory. The other is that Thailand, even though we think of it as a single country, has several and various ethnic groups, including people in the hill tribes. The Lana people have a distinct tradition that I know a teacher who basically, she subscribes to their indigenous tribal sort of medicine within Thai massage. We think of Thailand as the same country, right? But it's in the south between a northerner or southerner, very, very different cultures, very different, right? People are still arguing about this. I was told that there was a hospital in Thailand. Traditional Thai massage is a subset of traditional Thai medicine. Traditional Thai medicine is what people used in Thailand before they had access to Western medicine. Traditional Thai medicine almost died. Do we know why it almost died? Because they got access to antibiotics and medical care, and the tribal elders were not as esteemed as healing people anymore when we had access to surgeries and high quality Western medical education. Make sense? It doesn't mean that the stuff they had was useless, because it's not. I picked up a portion, the bodywork portion, and used it extensively in my own healing process from being hit by a drunk driver, in which I live in a Western culture where the medical system failed me. So I understand where this stuff falls, but when it comes to theory, here's where things broke for me. I decided that science is a good thing, and that myths and superstitions need to go away. Now, I'm not saying that Buddhism is a myth and a superstition. I'm saying, what does this research and the science say? That has made me a complete heretic and a pariah ever since it first came up. And I'll tell you a quick story. People are still arguing about Thai massage, the lineage, the tradition of Thai massage. There was a hospital in Thailand where they got indigenous people to come in, Thai medical practitioners. Those practitioners got together. They started having debates about sen lines and sen line theory, and it became so caustic that the whole thing disbanded because they were fighting. How many sun lines? How do you treat the sun lines? Where do the sun lines run? They were arguing about it. If you look at acupuncture, acupuncture is a sliver of traditional Chinese medicine, right? My roommate, Brett now lives in San Antonio. As Brett was going through acupuncture school, he was living with me, and he was making me aware of some things I did not realize. Do you guys know that there are distinct differences between Korean, Japanese, and Chinese acupuncture? Differences in lines, differences in treatment. Now, which one's correct? I don't know. What does the science say? And that's where people get angry. I sat down and had a conversation with Walt Fritz. Do you guys know who Walt is? I'm going to tell you this story real quick. I ran into Walt, and I don't have a lot of medical practitioners who have a higher knowledge level that I can go talk to as colleagues to say, hey, you're an orthopedic surgeon. I have questions and I need answers. And he says, oh, listen, here's a couple of books you should read. I think this will help fill in some of the intellectual gaps you're having. I think this will help. I talked to Walt. Walt teaches myofascial release that is pain science informed. Walt used to be a teaching assistant and teacher with John Barnes. And this is in no way to criticize John Barnes. This is just to parallel what I was doing. Walt had intense, fierce debates online for years with people about myofascial release, the mechanism behind myofascial release, the work that he was learning with John Barnes, and here's what happened. He kept the body work, and he added pain science, and he said, oh no, it works, but it don't work for the reason you think it works. And he broke off from John Barnes. There was a schism because he insisted, no, you don't get, this is science. You don't get to just make up a story. Research is good. Science is good. Studies are good. Information is good, right? When I sat down with Walt, I took a class with him in Dallas. In class, Walt was doing stuff similar to what I do, and he walked over, and I'm in Thai fisherman pants and a Pink Floyd t-shirt, long hair. Walt has nice spectacles. He's bald. Has very nice khakis, very nice shirt, very buttoned down. And he's like, Robert, is this similar to what you do? And I'm like, Walt, dude, I do this all day long. This is myofascial release. I blended this into Thai massage years ago. And it was just physically interacting with clients that was close on, because Thai is close on, right? So there's more traction, which is what he's typically doing. It's not as much effleurage. And I was like, Walt, I do this all the time. We sat down over lunch and he explained, Robert, listen, pain science is difficult to explain because you have to actually understand biology and the physical mechanisms that go along with people's nervous system and spindle cells and all this stuff. Even I don't exactly know. And I don't know it well enough to be able to teach it to you. And when I started, I was like, listen, give them the sips in, show them the body work, help them make a living, and then we'll update it. Now, how do people feel about me updating Thai massage? I've never been to Thailand. What do you say?
I'm all for it.
Okay, but I understand why that's a contentious, I understand why for some people that's a contentious thing. Walt looked at me and he said, Robert, listen, pain science doesn't do anything to change any of the body work you've been doing. You've been doing or I've been doing. Pain science explains why it works to begin with. And I went, you're my friend, you understand. Because all I've ever been doing is trying to relieve suffering. Oh, wow. What did the Buddha set out to do? Wow. It's almost like I'm on the same spiritual path, but I don't adopt a religion. Did the Buddha start a religion? Did Jesus start a religion? What did they do?
Taught.
Whatever it was they discovered. If the Buddha was alive right now, what would the Buddha think about antibiotics? He's like, do they relieve suffering? Oh, well, wonderful. This is amazing technology. I have Twitter. I can do the Four Noble Truths on Twitter. That's the sort of thing we're dealing with. Thai massage is in this weird spot where I think it's very similar to yoga, and one of the reasons I went to that yoga class last night and did what Jason Crandall wanted me to do, which was short of torture, in his vinyasa, is because I've noticed in the bodywork and massage community, and then also in the yoga community, if you dig, they're both grappling with these pain science issues because they're changing what they, like, they're not doing the yoga differently per se. They're saying that it doesn't work physiologically the way we used to think it would work. They're not spending a lot of time talking about nadis anymore and prana, right? They're looking at pain science and trying to explain why does this work in the body the way it works? Why does the pranayama lower blood pressure, lower heart rate? It doesn't remove any of its, the fact that it works. It doesn't remove any of its magic in a way. It just explains more and gives us more nuance to deeper questions. As soon as we discover something about physics, what happens? It opens up a million other questions about this fringe stuff we don't understand. That's just the process of like knowledge and knowledge development. Yoga in the West is what? And the correct answer is Instagram. Yoga as a traditional discipline within Hinduism, they've exported the physical hatha yoga because Westerners were interested in having a tight tush. And they were interested in having better sex lives and better posture and not being in pain or being healthy, right? That's only a sliver, but yoga in the West has become very westernized. What I heard from Jason Crandall from the articles I had read and was verified by having class with him is he's still doing vinyasa. He's still just coming in and kicking my ass. He's like, you're weak. You're out of shape. You're not flexible enough. Come on, let's work on your body. That's what hatha yoga is. But he's very much looking at pain science. He's trying to honor the tradition and where it comes from and say, yes, Iyengar was a wonderful yoga teacher, but I think we know more than he did. I think we can update how we do things so that it's safer for practitioners so that we don't lengthen and forward bend consistently and not strengthen the posterior chain. Real basic. And I'm like, yes, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. I just want the practice to evolve. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I'll tell you another quick story. This has been a couple months ago. I got a message from a Thai massage teacher who I've not met in person, who I've had run-ins with online. They will remain nameless. And the message said, Robert, your work lacks theoretical sophistication and physical finesse. You should come study with me. And I went, huh? And I thought about it. You kind of get, haterade, right? You get a little huffy, whatever. And I thought about it, and I was like, hey, listen, man, thanks so much for reaching out. I really appreciate the feedback. I hope that everything with your teaching and practice and students continues to grow. Really appreciate you reaching out. Peace, Robert. And here's the thing. Maybe my work does lack theoretical sophistication and physical finesse, but I have the rest of my life to work on it, and I will not stop. This is not an easy track. The path of knowledge, science is brutal. Science don't care about my feelings about truth. I have a hypothesis. Okay, let's test it. And a good scientist is not worried about whether their hypothesis is correct. They're worried about getting closer to what actually is and figuring it out through research that's reproducible. Does it make sense? When we look at Thai massage in the marketplace beyond the cultural component, do clients want, hey, what's your name?
Ann.
Hey, Ann. Listen, Ann, are you having upper back and neck problems? Well, listen, there's some send lines. There are these energy channels that run through your upper back. I'm going to work with you and free up those energy channels. Why are you laughing?
She has no idea what you just said.
And the thing is, I don't think that is wrong. I don't. How many of you actually believe that chakras are physical manifestations? You believe in chakras, and I'm not picking on you at all. Okay. I don't have any issues with that at all. I can sit and talk about energy a lot. The problem is when we actually dissect people, do we find chakras? And that's where I start to turn Joseph Campbell, comparative mythology. Big fan of Yoda. Yoda was an old, grumpy, ornery teacher. Young Skywalker. Yeah. like teaching him, right? And we've seen how the Star Wars series developed. They base a lot of that off of Joseph Campbell's like comparative mythology, him looking at various religious traditions and how they deal with myth, stories that inspire people. When we talk to clients, clients have physical pain. What I try to do is I don't pathologize the client. I don't say, oh, it's Ann. I say, Ann, listen, man, you got a really bad back problem. This is going to take some work, Ann. Like, I think you might have something with a disc or, whatever. I mean, I don't know this stuff, but I could lie if it's not very ethical. And I go, Ann, you're going to have to get at least 10 sessions with me for this to start to clear up. How do you feel? But hopefully, and I see this more often with chiropractors. They're taught, I think, in school to lead that sort of narrative to get people to get sessions regularly. What I tend to do is, Ann, listen, you're having a problem with your back. I'm not really sure why. I don't have x-ray vision. You haven't seen a doctor. It sounds like based on your pain levels, you just have some tight muscles. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel more neutral about it. It's
Yeah.
less upsetting.
Yeah, it's just like, because I didn't pathologize. I didn't go, well, you could have a tumor on your spine. Because that's freaking people out. Like they don't know, right? They don't know what's up with their bodies. We all have anxiety about those things. I tend to not pathologize. I try to make it as simple as possible, and I say I don't know a lot. I was a philosophy student too. I don't know. That's very common. What I tend to do is I work on her and then say, yeah, you know what? Listen, these muscles, like right up here, this stuff up here, I think you're having problems with this because these muscles in the front are tighter. I'm going to give you a tennis ball. Do you have a tennis ball at home? Do you have a dog? No. Okay, your dog won't eat the tennis ball. That's good. I'm going to give you a tennis ball, and I'm going to show her at the end of the session after I've worked on this how she can work on that. And I'm going to send her a link to the YouTube video where I've already made a copy of that so that she's following me on social media, understanding she can go back and learn how to work on her own body. Because in addition to me doing the session, I'm trying to empower her. That's a much better marketing and treatment plan in a Western cultural context. Sen lines always seem to go right across soft tissue. I think that the Sip Sen, the 10 main lines, were a map that Yoda gave to Luke and said, 10,000 sessions you must do. When you do it again and again and again, here's what started to happen. What's your name?
Nathan.
Nathan?
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan, come lay down on the table real quick for me. Just on your back. You can leave your shoes on. We can actually make sure your shoes are at the end there. You have a line on the inside of the arm. And traditionally what some people are taught is it's like they'll come in and they'll thumb press, finger press, thumb press, finger press, thumb press, finger press. How quickly are your hands going to wear out doing this? Now this is on the line, but is it any different than me going, ooh, right there?
Yeah, can feel that a lot more.
The second part was easier on my body. It was in some ways less traditional, but I started the series of workbooks more rooted in tradition and then going, come on, let's walk them along. Let's let it develop. Let's let the practice develop. When I would do a demonstration, and that was all I had to show real quick, thank you. Instead of this, palm press, finger press, palm press, finger press, you guys use your hands too much. I was trying to shift you towards your lower body. What I tended to do was, one, I worked so much I got tired. I was holding compressions longer. I was looking at musculoskeletal anatomy. And here's the thing, when I got tired and slowed down and held the compressions longer, the clients were getting better. The more I broke the tradition I was taught, the clients got better. They improved. And my allegiance was to helping relieve suffering. It was not to maintaining tradition. When I gave demos to massage therapists, you're doing myofascial release. And I was like, I thought I was doing Thai massage. You're doing trigger point therapy. And I was like, I thought I was doing Thai massage. I don't really know how to define Thai massage other than to say, and this is what a teacher told me, the work is not Thai unless the theory is Thai. And I said, okay, and since that's not science-based, I don't want anything to do with it ever again. And I will destroy what I created. I have no allegiance to 700 pages of sequence manuals and 9 DVDs. That was just a starting point. What also started to happen when it came to a branding and a marketing standpoint is massage therapists would get a session with me and completely freak out and go, "What is this?" And I was like, "Whoa, you've had Thai massage before, right?" And they're like, "Dude, this is nothing like," I'm like, "Okay, what's the difference between what I just did and what you had before?" And they're like, "Dude, don't get me wrong, your work is amazing, bro. Like I'm just completely blown away at what you did. It's amazing. It's amazingly effective." And they said, "But the people that worked on me before, they just did a sequence." And I went, "Whoa, no, sequence? This is sword fighting, bro. It's just to take them out. Like, this isn't practicing the same, a kata in martial arts. It's not just doing a kata. Like, you got to take the guy out. This is to learn how to, you're learning a form to be able to break it." Then, when I started doing the Phase 1 workbook specifically, all of these things were coming to a head as my teaching practice grew, and I stumbled into a gentleman named Bruce Lee. What do you guys know about Bruce Lee?
Be water.
What's that again?
Be water.
Be water. Bruce Lee was not by ethnicity purely Chinese. I think his mother was Canadian or German or something. Anyway, so he already got picked on in school because he's like a half-breed, right? He starts studying Wing Chun with Ip Man, and Ip Man was maybe a little hesitant at first because it's a Chinese martial art. Is it okay to teach a half-breed this traditional martial art? Well, Bruce Lee took Wing Chun, mixed it with grappling and the footwork for fencing, and created a new form called Jeet Kune Do. Bruce Lee is looked at as the martial arts master. And if you dig, guess what Bruce Lee is criticized for? You never finished your Wing Chun training. I'm not lying. Look it up. Do some reference. When I looked at Bruce Lee and I looked at the quotes he was giving, it was so clear. He also was taking this martial arts, he was teaching it to the round eye. He was teaching it to Westerners and Europeans. That was something that broke tradition. He was vilified for doing that, even though in years since he's looked at as like a martial arts master. We're dealing with the same issues in relation to theory, in relation to science, in relation to culture, and also I think in relation to marketing. The reason that Bruce Lee is considered the martial arts master is why? Movies. Now, he was an amazing martial artist, but nobody's doing martial arts out in the woods alone. They're showing off for a camera now. Make sense? Yeah. When we're dealing with clients in a Western cultural context, even for here in Texas, students are having challenges with branding. This is a big, big issue.
What stopped you from just calling it the Gardner method?
I don't like the name at all. And here's what happens. If I call it the Gardner method, it stops at me. What's your name?
Mason.
Mason. It is completely useless for me to teach you my body work because you have to use your tools, and your tools, even physically, are just shaped differently. Now, I have no problems trying to give you the rudiments, but even though I'm building a brand, and I'd love it if students want to pick up my brand, I feel no emotional attachment to you doing, to every jot and tittle, exactly what I tell you to do. If you take pieces of my work, study with a traditional teacher, take some ashiatsu, study some yoga, study some other stuff, and you mix and match and blend and create your own thing, please, are you helping people? Go! Like, the problem is, creating a brand, when we think of Nike, is Nike a guy? Who's the person we associate with Nike the most? Michael Jordan. And that was a very specific branding choice from them to open the Air Jordans. But Nike, Reebok, and Adidas are all what? What do they all sell? But they're very distinct brands. What brands are there in the massage industry? No, because those are brands. What I'm saying is, I don't think modalities are branded very well. I don't think any of them have taken like predominance in the industry because we're still talking about Swedish and deep tissue. From a consumer standpoint, what do consumers know as brands of massage?
Massage envy.
Yep. And was massage envy started by massage therapists? Who was massage envy started by?
Disney.
Business people, because massage therapists aren't good at business, and I'm still having this branding thing go on. I will not continue to develop the work. The reason I chose the name Reboot is because I was rebooting Thai massage and adding pain science and adding yoga therapy and adding elements of acro yoga from Jason Niemer, who has a trademark for acro yoga, and calling it therapeutic flight and hanging clients upside down off of my feet and using a suspension system to stand on people and give double-footed compressions. People freak out. And they're telling me that my work is not massage. And every time they say that, I go, great. Don't need a massage license. Don't need to teach massage therapists. I can scale it worldwide with anybody I choose to train. I'm pushing the edges where I'm hitting basically I'm turning gray and I'm losing hair, like fighting regulation. And that's why we've gone online, because I get tired of having these battles from like imaginary borders from state to state, right? Because massage laws change and it's difficult to travel state to teach. When it comes to branding, I need a brand that's like Nike that the therapist will pick up and think of as their own, that gives you enough freedom to explore your own physical capacity to help people, that also doesn't limit you. It doesn't set a sort of like barrier. It gives you a new framework to sell a new service to clients. In the massage community, what is a form of body work that we think of as distinct from massage? And it is, and legally, reflexology is distinct.
Arvigo.
Arvigo's a distinct brand in the community. Arvigo Maya has a trademark. What?
Craniosacral.
Craniosacral. I always think of Rolfing. Rolfing, for some reason, Ida Rolf, like there was something about the way they put that together, that it's just got this distinct thing where everybody knows that Rolfing isn't quite massage, even though they're still working soft tissue. We need more brands in the massage community, and we need more people to be able to create niche bodywork services that answer consumer needs, whether that's relaxation or pain relief or whatever it is. Massage therapists on the whole feel like, to me, they're frustrated because they're still just trying to sell massage. And when every massage facility in town is selling massage, what's different about it?
That's why it feels saturated.
Market feels saturated. 100 people moved here today.
Yeah. But that's why it does feel that way, because everybody's selling the exact same thing. So.
How much massage is offered on my menu of services?
0.
I offer a reboot and a belly reboot. We got to change names. That's why I put a question mark. Because here's the thing, if they came in looking for table cream, glide, and nudity, I don't do that. That was a real problem on a number of levels from a marketing perspective. But here's what it doesn't do. They don't confuse what I do with what everybody else is doing, and they can't get what I do anywhere else. And I work in my garage. It is not a spa. I mean, it says private home studio on the website, but it's a garage. It's a nice converted garage, but it's a garage.
That's right.
Yeah. From a branding standpoint, I felt like the Gardner method, it ain't about me. It's about helping you create a better brand so that we can scale it out together. The reason that I run the Thai Massage Jam and give what I do away for 7 years is because I want to help massage therapists. And massage therapists came to me and said, oh, classes are expensive. I'm like, Thai Massage Jam's $5. You don't get to complain anymore. My sessions are $240 a session. If I raise the session fee to $300, people go, oh, it's expensive. I'm like, no, it's not. Thai Massage Jam's $5. You don't get to complain to me about cost. And they're like, oh, but classes are, it's not a real class. I'm like, there's 300 hours of my classes online for $7. You don't get to, I live in Kenya. Okay, subscribe. It's called the internet. I'm giving it all to you. They're like, I speak Spanish. Don't worry, we're going to get it transcribed in every language on earth if I can and scale it. Like, I'm trying to help people. That's where the fixation is, fundamentally. I don't want to go too much longer, but when it comes to what you're packaging, calling it Thai massage does have some disadvantages. People don't really know what it is. What's the advantage of calling what you're doing Thai massage? It's not common. It's not common. You're going to compete with me for Google SEO, and I'm going to beat you, but it's okay. I mean, you'll be underneath, but I'm going to be up the top because I make more video and hire knives and do all this stuff. Yeah. Now, the other way you game that is you go, Robert, can you help me make some videos? Sure. Robert, will you trade me? Sure. Robert, will you use? Sure. You want to guest blog and make a video? Like, I don't care. Like, I'm trying to lift you up. Like, I'm not trying to diminish your shine at all. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade on you. When you call it Thai massage, here's the other problem. You're a woman. I look at you as a woman. You're a woman if you're more comfortable being called a woman. What do people think Thai massage is when you put that on your menu of services?
I don't know, maybe like pulling around, stretching kind of thing. That's at least what.
Does anybody know where I'm going?
Yes.
All the women said yes.
That, yeah.
And
Yeah.
listen, that's a really unfortunate cultural thing because when we were in the Vietnam War, we have bases in Thailand. So American troops were stationed there and people needed money and there was a lot of prostitution going on. The Thais in Buddhism, they don't have a lot of, I'm told, sort of sexual repression. Like ladyboys are much more common in Thailand. It's very socially acceptable. Their sense of sexuality is much more, it's not puritanical, let's put it that way. So there are negative associations about this word. It's unfortunate, but I can't really do anything about it. I use Thai massage as a keyword because it draws more specific clients to what I do. The name of my business is Robert Gardner Wellness, and all the videos have a guy with a beard in it, standing on people doing crazy pain relief stuff, so I don't have to worry about it too much. When I deal with that, what I have to deal with is the fact that how many of you as women would feel completely uncomfortable having a home studio? Raise your hand. Why would you feel uncomfortable having a home studio?
I want strangers in my house.
Safety. And then I have women, because I'm a big proponent of social media, because if you can't get the larger culture to listen, you just have to keep shouting a louder message using social media and YouTube and Instagram and everything else. And then when you do that, who do you draw? And they go, Robert, and I'm a guy, white male privilege, right? They go, Robert, what do I do about this? And I'm like, go to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, learn some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, take videos of that, and put that on your website on the first page. And they're like, Robert, I'm getting creepy. I'm like, go to a gun range, take photos and video of you shooting guns and kicking models in the crotch or whatever it is,
Just have them right
and
there
put
at
that
your
on
home
your
studio.
website.
Just have everything
What's
on the
your name?
walls. Elizabeth.
Hey, I'm Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to think twice before you see what I mean? It's like, yeah, I just took taser training the other day on your Instagram. People are going to think twice. It's an unfortunate situation. I don't really know what to do about it. It's where I also rely on women as teaching assistants to help fill the gaps for me, and I allow women in the industry to educate me about best practices to keep them safe while still building lucrative businesses. I don't really care what you call my work. If you decide to leave here and put full table tie sessions on your menu of services, there are good reasons to do that. Here's the other problem. This will eventually have a trademark, which means I own it. You can't run a Thai massage jam unless I let you run a Thai massage jam, and that happens because some students tried to run a Thai massage jam and said, hey, go fuck yourself. You don't own Thai massage. And I went, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not trying to own Thai massage. I own an event called Thai Massage Jam. That's a community bodywork event that's very American that was created by me. Make sense? Yeah. Now, who controls what this is? Is there any regulation in the United States that controls what this is?
No.
Nothing. Teachers in the United States, here's what they do. They posture, they preen, they talk about lineage, who their teacher was, who they studied with, how long they've spent in Thailand. And I go, I don't give a shit. This doesn't mean anything legally. You can put Thai massage on your menu of services after watching a YouTube video. Now, when spas in and around Austin, just to make it a little bit more complex, when spas in and around Austin find out about me and want me to come do training, what do they want? Certification. Oh God, we don't start that conversation. So they want table tie. And I'm like, bro, I don't work on a table. And they're like, no, but we want table tie. And I'm like, then you don't want what I teach. Like, this is just to like give you a transition to the mat. And I go, okay, yeah, table tie is 2 days. And they're like, nah, that's too long. Can you do it in 6? I'm like, dude, yeah, I can show them a couple moves, but like I can't. That's like saying, okay, you want to be a massage therapist? Well, we got this weekend. Like the state says, no, you got to do 500 hours. You have to know anatomy and physiology. You had to do hydrotherapy. You have to, there's no control over what this is. And that put it in a very bad situation where as things continued, there was no way for me to deal with quality control unless, make sense? From a consumer standpoint, when we talk about marketing, we talked about kind of the broader cultural context. Nobody wants the Gardner method. When I hear that, that's a worse name than reboot. I'm like, yeah. Gardner method? I was like, yeah. And I mean, I had those conversations even with myself.
Not even just the Gardner method, but something, knowing that not a whole lot of people know what Thai massage is.
Yeah.
It's a very fiercely defended cultural artifact, more or less.
Yeah.
And this is such a deviation from what that protected and fiercely defended thing is. Why not go with something else?
I am. But the trademark for reboot failed, so we have to file a new trademark. And then I hope that I don't have to wait another 3 years and have it declined. But that's just the way intellectual property law works. Like, you can make shoes, you just can't put a swoosh on them and call them Nike. And Nike, of course, is the Greek god of victory. But most people, if you say Nike, they would just say, oh, shoes, because we recognize it as a brand. Amazon isn't a river in South America anymore. It's a big company, right? Because we use it all the time. It's brand building. What do you guys, before we end this conversation, do you have any specific issues with marketing, branding, and business? We're going to have time for this tomorrow as well, a little 20 minutes after lunch. Do you have any specific questions that I can help with? I know you hate business, not all at once. So you got into massage to do this, right? Guess what business is? This on steroids. You can help more people. The reason I can run a community bodywork event and give away workbooks and DVDs and produce a video a day is because I have clients and they pay me, and I have students and they pay me, and I have retail and they pay me, and I keep building and building and building, and I go, I don't care what you call it, watch. I'm going to go help some people. What do you guys have problems with? Most therapists I see keep saying they can't get enough clients. More clients.
Retention sometimes.
Retention.
Yeah.
So when they come in, do you work for yourself, like completely?
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Why do they not come back? What do you think it is?
I guess for some people it's money. For some people it's distance. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say sometimes.
Because there are factors. Do you live in South Austin?
No, I live in North.
North Austin. Okay. A lot of people. If you're in Austin area, we have like a really dense marketplace. What do you do to like advertise to new clients if the retention isn't so good?
Facebook.
Facebook. Do you run Facebook ads?
Yeah.
Does it work pretty well?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay. And then the clients that you do have, do you contact them via email, via text, via phone? Okay. Which ones do you prefer?
Probably, I think people respond best to email and text. But
Yeah, phones like, wait, I'm busy. Like, why are you bothering me, right?
Yeah.
Do you just send like regular emails?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'll do like promotional stuff sometimes, like promoting like a specific day or hours,
Discounts.
things like that.
Yeah. I think it's all complex, probably just as complex as the previous conversation about how you're going to structure that based on your strengths. I lean very heavy towards video production because I can talk just till I'm nauseous, and I just can, and I don't care if people call me fat or ugly or he's got a weird mole on his face or I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really bother me. How would you feel about doing videos regularly?
I might be open to it.
She's a little nervous already. Yeah. And the thing is, I see it with students constantly. Robin, one of the things I'm working with Robin, are you guys familiar with a funnel? Like the concept of a business funnel? So when you run a Facebook ad, you're running a Facebook ad to get a client, correct?
Right.
So you're offering some sort of package, offering some sort of sale.
Yeah.
How willing are people when they're scrolling through their Facebook feed on their phone or on their computer, how willing are they to just purchase a massage session from an ad? you got to think about like human behavior on social media. People interact with like cat videos. Lord knows I shared. What I shared the other night? Oh, there was like they made sushi, but they made it in an ice cube tray where they packed the ice cube tray full of rice and then like put the fish in and then like turned it upside. No, they put the fish in first and then put the rice and then turned it upside down. So it made these little sushi. And I was just like, all right. I mean, Jiro Ono is probably about to die, but you know, it's like, go ahead and make sushi in an ice cube tray. It's just little funny things that people share, right? Like memes and cat videos. Here's the way I notice things, and I've done a lot of social media marketing, not for clients, but for other things. Do more people click on something when it's free or when it's $100? Free. Free has a nice barrier of entry, which is none. It's like, do you have an email address? Would you like a free Thai massage workbook? How many of you downloaded my free Thai massage workbook? And I made $300 from each of you from taking this class. And that's how marketing works, because it's a marketing funnel. You get a free workbook, then you're on my email list, and hopefully you don't unsubscribe. I had a webinar recently that completely bombed. Like, I literally talked to a brick wall for 30 minutes because I messed up something on the computer. And I sent out an email, and the subject line for the email was, worst webinar ever, with an exclamation point. And I had a higher open rate on that email. Because people were like, worst, what is this, right? And it was the same kind of email I send out all the time. What I tend to do in emails is I'm offering more free stuff. Hey, I'm on YouTube. I got some YouTube videos. Would you like that? Hey, there's some more stuff on my Instagram if you don't follow me there. Hey, next week I'm supposed to broadcast a class live on Twitch if you want to join that. Hey, I've got this blog post. Hey, this information. Hey, this is what's going on in my practice. They know they can buy. There's a little click, click this link here if you want to purchase. But it's more like I'm offering than offering a hard sell. Here's what I'm doing with Robin right now, because I think this is the future, and I think therapists are going to excel when they start thinking about marketing this way. I have some software called Teachable that delivers my subscription service. We shot 10 videos with Robin. Robin is a dental hygienist. She wants to work with dental hygienists. She wants to work with people in the medical community. She's worked for less than a year.
As a
Therapist?
yeah.
Yeah, so she's like kicking off her massage practice. She's coming to me and she's like, Robert, please, I'm tired of doing dental hygiene. I'm tired, please save me. And I'm like, okay, Robin, we're gonna try. We made a 10 video series where she's showing dental hygienists where they're holding tension, why they're holding tension, describing a little anatomy, working on somebody, showing them some Thai massage they could potentially do on their partner or loved one. We made a 10 video series in a course. And now she'll have a free course. And that free course also from Teachable puts them through a 10 email sequence. And each of those days after they subscribe, now you got an email from Facebook. Now that she's got their email, every day for 10 days they're going to get a new email. And the email is going to say, hey, click on this link to see the new video in your course today. We're going to talk about upper back and neck pain. I'm Robin. Thank you so much for signing up for the course. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, here's a link. We're going to contact them, not once, because what we're doing is we're gathering their email and contact from Facebook, and we're contacting them 10 times. And what do they feel about by the 5th video?
They love Robin.
And that's all it is. They love Robin. No other massage. They're like, whoa, man, this massage therapist had like a whole online class that had like links to her social media and like all this stuff to connect with her. Because what they want to see is, who is Robin? What does Robin look like? Well, how does Robin sound? Wow, Robin looks like she does really good work. And here's the thing, you'd use Facebook and Facebook's data and you go, show this to people who are 30 to 60 years old, who make over $100,000 a year, who work in the medical field. Now, are people going to click on something because they're selling a $100 session or because they're giving something away for free? And she hooks into a dental community. They share that link and say, listen, you got to check this out. She builds more notoriety. She contacts and connects with her target market. And then We just continue building. It starts slowly, but when you have that on your website, it means that you can collect an email because you gave away a free course. I did it with a free workbook, but that was 10 years ago. The technology is so much better now for you to be able to run people through those sorts of funnels. But the funnel isn't, come on and buy, come on and buy, come on and buy. No, it just means by the 7th or 9th email, she's like, listen, if you like these videos, I'd love to be able to work with you in a session so you can see what the work is really like. Just click on this, and because you've gone through the course, we're going to give you a little discount for your first session with me.